Hey guys, before I show you a tour of my official studio that's pretty much finished, I wanted you to see this to show you how the room was before I started working on it. It's pretty jacked up. My previous studio was a horrible studio. There was like barely any light and I was just really limited with the things I could have done. This room that is now my YouTube studio was locked up for a few years. We didn't have a key for this room, so we couldn't open it. But one day, me and my dad were chilling doing something in the old studio, and then he did black magic to open the door up or something. And next thing you know, the door's open. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to stick around until the end, since this video will be showing pretty much the evolution of the whole studio build that I've been working on for quite some time. I bought some studio lights early 2016 since I wanted to change the content on my channel, and I didn't start making professional looking videos of me being in front of the camera until early 2016. And even then, these weren't even that professional. These were my old studios, which were very boring looking. Then I eventually moved my studios to some other part of the area. This new area, I wasn't giving some depth to my videos and some space to work with, but the options were extremely limited. After a while, I knew that this was a bad idea overall. I need to do something about it. This is when the personal project hit me. I knew about this project as I was entering sophomore year in high school. I go to an IB school. The personal project is like an IB program thingy. But anyways, I knew exactly what I was going to do for this project, so I started working on it like 2 months early. The first thing I did to this room was remove all the junk that was in it and clean and vacuum real good. Also, I didn't get footage of everything. All the little clips you see are from my iPhone 6 camera. But anyways, I had 2 of my 23 watt 5000 Kelvin CFLs laying around, so I stuck 2 of them in the ceiling fan and removed that 2700K bulb that was in there for probably the time we moved into the house. So that was a while. These 5000K bulbs give me that nice bright white color, essential to photography and film studios. This is the difference between the 2700K bulb and the 5000 Kelvin bulb. Big difference. Most people use the 27K bulbs, which is fine for most uses indoors whenever it comes to being in a house. But for any type of photo or video action, these bulbs are usually your enemy. But I really do love the mood that the 2700K bulbs give out. 5000K is just too crazy for a relaxing move. It's way too bright white. After that, I cleaned each and every little aspect of the room. I wanted to keep it clean and I didn't want any previous germs to be present. The windows were dirty enough, but man, if I showed you how dusty the ceiling fan blades and the light bulb sockets were, you'd be amazed. Later that month, I wanted to try out a backdrop without spending any money. So I found this guy that was laying in my closet for a few years now. It was just a spare bed sheet. My dad helped me put this together, but I just didn't like it. I loved it, but I hated it. I didn't get the look I was wanting. I said, nah, this looks horrible and unprofessional, but I just kept trying. So I bought a bunch of LED lights that I thought would look cool. If they look cool for other YouTubers, then it would look cool for me, right? Yeah, unfortunately not. I hated the way everything was looking, but I just kept going with it, hoping one day it would look good. After that, I tried so many different types of camera and lighting angles. They all seemed pretty wacky. Anyways, I'm not trying to bore you to death, so let's just cut to the chase. Sorry for the shaky footage, but this is how the studio looked towards the end. Not good enough. I did things in the room like add this yin yang sticker to the bird painting on the wall, and I even painted all the white patches of sheetrock on the wall. This did a lot to the room. It changed the overall look to it. My studio turned from this to this to this and to this. So I'm gonna give you a little tour of my studio that I have going on right here. The audio in the video is gonna be pretty bad since everything's right here. I'll show you that in a bit, but let's just start from left to right. This is my wall of LED lights that I had nothing to do with. Yeah, they're just there. This is my little fluorescent tube setup I got going on that works fine as a backlight, but it's a little bit too powerful. If I ever need an emergency light, then this is the way to go. Moving on, these are my lights that I mainly use. These are the StudioPro 1050 watt softboxes. They're really bright and they're pretty cheap and affordable. I like them a lot. The only downside about them is that they're perfectly square, which makes these lights a little harder to use because they're not that big. They're pretty small, really small. The camera I use is the Canon T4i, which is a nice camera. For me personally, a lot of people on YouTube got these crazy full frame cameras are so expensive, but I just stick with this. It's perfectly fine for what I use it for. And it has a Canon 50mm 1.8 STM lens, so it's pretty nice. I like it. And the tripod, it's actually a Dolica Proline AX series. It's a nice tripod. It hasn't really failed me at all yet, so I'm just sticking with this nice budget tripod that's not a crazy $1 million Manfrotto. I love this camera a lot. I use it full manual. It took me quite a while to get used to that. Honestly, if you're gonna start out doing YouTube, just get yourself like a Canon G7X if you got like $1 million to spend. Or just get like a little point and shoot, or even just use your phone, because you don't need any crazy DSLR. But like I said, if you're gonna start out YouTube, just get yourself a camera that like autofocuses and does everything automatically, because this is pretty difficult to get one of these cameras to do everything perfect for you, especially if you're just a one-man filming yourself, which is me. And all of my videos, I do everything by myself, so it's not the easiest. It takes a lot of time, but it's all worth it at the end. Moving on, this is my mic setup I got going on. Here's a little stand. I actually have my mic piled up on boxes because it has to reach my face. It has to be face level, since when I make my videos, I gotta make sure my mic reaches my face, or else, you know, mic is gonna be all the way down there and you guys won't be able to hear me. So that's that. This is a Zoom H4n. Really good mic. It's an audio interface, but I use it as a mic. It plugs in directly into the wall, so I don't have to use batteries. Thank goodness, or else I would have to use batteries all the time. And I used to do that until I finally brought my AC adapter up here, so big difference. Moving on, here is a little shelf area. This shelf, it came with the room, so I just decided to take advantage of it. This is my Levi's hat that I wear in my videos because I don't like the way my hair looks on camera. This is my white balance card. These are light bulbs from Lowe's, the best light bulbs ever, because they're 5,000 Kelvin, baby. So I just keep them handy in there. Moving on, this is just a little area with all my junk in it, like you know, batteries, a stabilizer, old 18 to 55 millimeter lens that I use for a lot of videos. Then down here is just boxes. That's that. This is like a little heater that's like 10 years old that I just decided to bring up. Since it's really cold up here, there's absolutely no heating in this area. So making my videos is kind of a struggle, but it works. And this thing barely works. It takes probably like a good hour for things to get a little warm. So that's my studio. It's nothing crazy, nothing too fancy. It all works, and I did a lot of work to achieve this studio. It wasn't easy. It took a lot of time, effort, research, and all that to get all this together. Hopefully you found the studio tour to be interesting, because like I said in my previous video, everybody has their own little unique setup going on. So this is my setup. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.